Well, pleasant good morning to the world at large. The 30th day of June 2023. My name is Reginald Martin, aka Tychicus, your revelator. And I want to have a conversation this morning, a conversation with a difference. And the topic will be cricket, lovely cricket. I becomes a cricket fan from early in the 1960s. And ever since that time, I have the knowledge and gather the love of cricket. Sabina Park used to be the mecca for cricket in the Caribbean. Yes, you did have Kensington Oval, Border Ground in Guyana, Queen's Park Oval, and later the Antigua Recreation Ground. Whenever time a tour, an international tour arranged, Sabina Park was the one that always chosen to open the series or to close the series. Because at that point and time, the last match always like a final. And the first match was an introduction to get all the other Caribbean island upbeat and come out to watch the cricket. Now, in recent time, we have seen a shift, a very huge shift in what we are accustomed, where Sabina Park is concerned, the mecca of cricket. Now, I started to listen cricket or watch cricket from the days of Eastern McMorris. Yes, Maurice Foster, Lawrence Rowe, William Hay, Houghton Dow. Yes, Delroy Morgan, Robert Samuel, Marlon, and you come right down to the Chris Gales and all of those, right? Sabina Park were the mecca for cricket. Now, I may not able to do this accurately, but I'm trying to find out the last time an international match played at Sabina Park. And I would want the cricketing expertise, those that are responsible for arranging tours, and all of the technocrats in the cricketing circle to observe one or two things that I'm observing. Right? One, ever since that Caribbean festivity is taken out of the West Indian tours, whether they are at home or they are touring overseas, abroad, that Caribbean festivity is not there with them. When the English coming this way, they bring along the Barmy Army. And whenever every time the odds are against them, they have as much festivity in the camp to build them, to rebuild them, to lift their spirit, to energize them. So they would be down and out this moment, and the next moment, the Bami army, although are not on the square, but they provide the energy from the stands. Now, Chiki Hi-Fi, Graveney, right, were the West Indians whom they all imitate and build that kind of festivity in their country. And they manage it and they utilize it to the extent that they becomes world beaters. All the other country, the Indians and the New Zealanders and everyone, the Australians, has that kind of festivity, has a mascot that that keep their spirit going. West Indies don't have one. So they constantly being trashed by these nations. They fail from the departure of Graveney and Chiki. They fail to install an effective mascot and an effective vibes maker, citing financial problem. But are they penny wise and pound foolish? Are they seeing the end product of not installing a mascot? Someone with spiritual ability? Someone who has this West Indian spirit? To constantly traveling with that team, someone that they can look up unto? There is no Ranulka Martin. And we know of his spirit. I happens to met him at Sabina Park and realized Ranako was a spiritual individual. I cannot speak of the rest, but I can speak of the late Ranulka Martin. And not because my name is Reginald Martin, but because I happens to meet this man and speak with this man, right? I did offer to speak to Christopher Gale on that same day and he declined, right? Yes, we need that kind of a West Indian that will carry that energy with them on every tour they make. There's a few observers who have seen me gyrating in the stands, and I'm quite sure they pointed it out to the cricketing authorities, and they turned a blind eye to it. Now, since cricket stopped playing at Sabina Park, no longer the Mecca or the most important ground in the world, only the Chinese left to beat them. Only the Chinese left to come up with a cricket team to beat the West Indies, because of their inability to sustain the old pattern. Remember, yes, technology increase and changes will have to be made. But there are certain things that cannot change, just as the sun rises in the east and down in the west. There are certain values that cannot be devalued. And if you devaluing our spirit and our culture, right, other nation will capitalize. And I speak to you this morning, the 30th of June 2023, as the Indians are coming to the West Indies once again. Not a match at Sabina Park. CPL later on in August, this summer. Not a match in Sabina Park. It has now become a football ground. I've also observed that ever since it has been refurbished, redecorated, in and out with these great men on the walls of Sabina Park as cricketers. Not very few major match. Let me say that. Because I remember the New Zealanders were here, the last one I thought. Very few major cricketing match played at Sabina Park. Rugby, football, Raytown, those are what happening at Sabina Park, the mecca of the cricketing world. I said these things this morning because I'm a lover of the game, and it is very heartbreaking to see other nations lesser in cricketing quality overrunning us so easily. It pains my heart, and I hope it pains the authorities who are making these blunders to realize themselves and go. Don't look too much at the top for your solution, but look at the bottom, at the simple things, as Chicky and Gravy. They thought they were the least. They never bowl a ball. They never take a wicket. They never make a runs, but they were so important to the team. Authorities, take a look and take some advice out of my book and get a mascot, assign a mascot to West Indies cricket, a spiritual mascot. Once more, argument done. I am Tai Chicos, Reginald Samuel Martin. I'm out.